Oh, there you are. You're okay. My gosh, he's here. You're there. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just fell asleep accidentally on the couch.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't care. I really don't care as long as you're okay.
Yeah, I was waiting and I fell asleep on the couch. So
Oh, that's okay.
my,
As long
my,
as
my apologies.
apology. I understand, but as long as you're okay, that's the main thing.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Chef, I sent you a text to say that we were going to change it to day 19 today,
Okay, day 19.
which
Did
is
I?
Fridays,
Okay.
which is Friday, because we've got so much of EP versus AP in there. We've done it for 2 days in a row, and I think putting another food cost would be just not out of too much
I completely agree with you on that.
overload. So now we're going to be talking about payroll expenses, which is day 19.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Jonas.
Sorry, guys. I overslept or didn't oversleep, but
Oh, no
kind of
biggie.
overslept.
No biggie. We all do it.
Day 19.
Kind of understand that EP versus AP, didn't you all? I mean, it's like overload.
There we go.
Okay. Next one, and we're right on track. Okay. Okay. Different industries exit in very different employment worlds. Fast food restaurants are notorious for rapid wages and constant turnover. Service industries have higher pay costs because they don't have a staff. They don't generate revenue. Here are payroll percentages for some of the industries as an example. Retail is 10 to 20% of the gross sales revenue. Retail. That means not necessarily restaurants so much as people that come into a store to buy a living store. The hospitality industry is 30%, and the restaurants are 30% also. So we're talking about different types of payroll to make sure that you understand the different form of paying. Okay. You can roll. Okay. Rather than looking for averages, look at what the most profitable companies, companies in your industry are doing. At a trade show, talk to top performers from outside your region. Browse trade journals for financial information about the top companies. Talk to your accountants or financial consultant about what he or she is doing in the industry. Remember, we are all in it together, meaning to help each other out as companies to make things work. Applying the percentages. Percentages are guidelines, not rules handed down on stone tablet. How you apply the percentages is more important than which percentage that you use. Withholding taxes. Use the percentages method to calculate federal payroll withholding. Okay, so some people have different ways of interpreting and doing it. Let's say your industry average shows payroll versus sales running between 15 and 20%. The next step is to calculate the percentage for your own company. List all the employees, costs, benefits, salary, and taxes. And don't forget to include your own. Then add up the gross sales and revenue, which is the total income from sales, unadjusted for deductions, such as return merchandise. If your sales to payroll percentage is healthy for your field, wonderful. If you're pushing in the red zone, don't automatically assume that you have to slash staff or wages. Look closely at the reasons the percentages is out of whack. A long-term growth requires employed high-power salespeople or IT experts. We need them today, don't we, those IT people? They'll be getting a job everywhere they want to go with all this stuff happening. So you have to pay more than the average. You understand, as a result, your employees are racking up overtime, which boosts your payroll cost, to understand where you are. Your employees are insufficient. What are they doing? I just want to know an overall thing. Great, Jose, I'm glad to see you. Great, Gary, come on board, I see you. Mia, I appreciate it. Trent, are you here today? I need to see your face. Kimberly, good morning. On, come on. I need to see you.
Messed up.
How many of you, after Delilah, thank you, good morning.
Good morning, Chef.
Hey, you. Is it tough getting up this morning?
Yes, so I decided to do class in bed.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
To do it in bed.
Okay, maybe tomorrow morning I'll try that. Only kidding. Only kidding. But glad to see you all, guys. Kimberly, wait, come on up, girl. We missed you yesterday. How many of you going through the last 6 weeks, I'm just an interest, we'd rather working in a kitchen than at home sitting in front of a monitor? I just want to know, has it really changed your life a little bit? Are you a mover or a shaker? Or are you a person that is mellow? Anybody have a comment?
I'm a mover and shaker, and I need to be busy in the kitchen.
Okay,
This has been
anybody else? Nobody saying a word.
Yeah, of course it's changed. Yes, of course it's changed my life, but I'm fine staying home.
You're fine, okay.
Yeah. Here's a little link for you guys.
Okay. Okay, saw it. Thank you. To understand. Some people are finding it very difficult, probably not necessary to stay home. Yeah, you need to stay home. But the amount of movement that you do, that you're used to doing, and now you're not. How many feel that? Does things hurt more? For me, it does. You know, need to be a little bit more active. maybe taking on exercising at home, making your mindset correct. Maybe for some of us, not being so negative. Thinking about what we can do to make ourselves a little bit more comfortable. I know I hurt more. I never hurt places before in my life, and now I'm oohing and eyeing when I get up from a chair. How many of you have experienced that? Maybe you're still too young. You all get it? Yeah, you got it, Cliff, Chef Cliff. You know, we're not used to it. I'm used to just running and running and running and running all day, and I don't even have time for a break. But I do have time for my coffee.
Yeah.
How many of us are coffee drinkers in the morning? I think I've tried 5 different types of coffee, and I don't know which one I like better anymore. They all taste the same to me. So those are the things that, you know, we maybe will look forward to later on and appreciate a little bit more when we get out. You know, anybody take daily walks every day? Any of you? Really? That's awesome. I just had to break up a little bit because I think we need to just kind of understand the world that we're kind of a little bit of living in is going to change, but we also need to stay positive in ourselves and make ourselves move. And make ourselves move. So you've added salespeople to boost sales, but the payroll growth is impacting sales growth. If paying for top people will boost your future sales, a high payroll sales percentage may be something you can live with for a while. Find the right people to do that job. Not anybody. Sometimes the people with that skill, you have to pay a little bit more money for. Other reasons may indicate problems you have to fix to stay profitable. How important is that? Reduce the percentage. If the percentage convinces you there is a problem, look at the ways you bring the figure down. Boost productivity with rewards for employees' performance. These can be something from a merit-based bonus to a day's off. Cross-train your employees. We've talked about that in last week and the beginning of this week. Cross-training your employees. Make them adapt to what the situation is and how it works. They can cover for each other and someone calls in sick. A sudden rush. Remember, if you train your employees for not I, but we, and cross-train them, you're going to find out how much that helps. Don't be a total dictator. But be a mentor. Study the work day shift. You've got to know what day you're on. You've got to look at the percentage of sales for that day. When you schedule, first of all, not necessarily schedule, meaning you've got to be that week's schedule to be right on top. You might have to change it next week But study the workday shift by shift. See if there are times that are overstaffed or too short handled for your team. Can't deliver good service. Adjust accordingly. Cross-training. The more cross-training you do, the less people you have that can help you and make it efficient. Make more use of the part-time, freelance, or temporary help. You don't have to pay them the benefits. There are legal distinctions between freelance and employees. So it is important not to confuse the two. You can bring on a world of legal hurt. Remember also, one of the main things sometimes in a restaurant, hotel, it doesn't matter, country club, on being fair. Treat your employees with fairness. If you do, and sometimes you do irritate them, there's no question about it. There's going to be a day that they're going to not like something. But let them understand the fairness that you're going to be doing. Fairness to all, even you as an owner. Point blank. But they have to understand sometimes in a way, which they might not understand, guys, why you came to that decision. Sometimes you feel that's not important for them to know the whole picture. What is the tax percentage taken out of payroll checks? The beginning of 2018 brought big changes to the tax world adjustment for American workers' paychecks. While rates of Social Security and Medicaid stayed the same, federal's withholding tax rates and tax brackets have been adjusted to provide larger paychecks for most taxpayers. Kind of changed the system all the way around. Federal withholding tax are calculated based on gross income. Number of allowances claimed on W-4 and I keep saying material, but it isn't, status. The IRS encourages taxpayer to occasionally perform a withholding checkup to ensure that the correct amount is being withheld of their paychecks. How many people pay attention to that? A little, if too little withheld throughout the year, taxpayers will face a big tax bill at the end and possibly fines when they file their return. So the fine probably is that you got to owe them taxes for the amount of money that you made. Some people have to put more exemptions in there. Or not exemptions, I shouldn't say that, because if you're only a couple, you can only have two. But take out more money for your taxes while you're working, so you don't feel it at the blunt end. If you've got kids at home, it helps a little bit. Conversely, if too much is taken out weekly, individual will receive a bigger refund at the end of the year. However, instead of a large refund, taxpayer may prefer to adjust their withholding allowances so they have more money in their paychecks on a weekly basis. Think about it. money paid in with no interest or not usage. You as an individual need to find that out. If you paid a income tax a couple of years, you might want to think about that one. Up it a little bit so it makes a difference.
That's what I'm going to actually be doing with my wife and I, because we both have kind of side jobs, like side gig jobs, and they don't get taken out. The taxes don't get taken out. So I'm going to be raising my my withholding that I am going to be doing. So.
Oh, I understand.
Yep.
I pay every year.
Yep.
And so even me adjusting it didn't help at all. And especially when people just give you a W-2 form at the end of the year for another thing that you do.
Yeah.
Understand. But think about it, what's best for you guys individually. You're just starting out. Especially the ones that cater. When you get that W-2 form back from the people that you catered for. Or a company. Sometimes you won't need to because it's a private party. But if you're doing it for businesses, did you hear what I'm saying? Like the city of Lakeway, like I cater for, they give me one at the end of the year. If you're doing things that are doing it for private people, usually they won't give you a W-2 form. University of Texas gives you one. I guarantee you they do. City of Lakeway, the city of Houston, or any place that you cater. They give you a form. So you have to take that into consideration. Social Security or Medicare taxes are known as FICA, Federal Insurance Contribution Act. Taxes are another big deduction from your payroll. Or your paycheck. These rates are standard for everything individual and are based on flat percentages. Percentage. And do not fluctuate according to the level of gross income. Every employee is taxed. (6.2% of for Social Security, 1.45% for Medicare. These amounts are calculated and deducted from the earnings for all pre-tax contributions to the retirement plan. Or payments to cafeteria plans have been subtracted. What else? State and local taxes. Stand around and watch what is around you. Support your local taxes and your state. Once the federal government has taken its share, state and local authorities will take a piece of the employee paycheck. Taxes rate vary from state to state, with 43 states taxing an individual income. Tax rate range from 13.3% in California to those in lower income brackets, paying percentages less than 1% of several states. Local government also tax at their own varied rates, leavening those who live or work within their boundaries. After federal, state, and local taxes, you get 1/3 of the wish. There are 7 United States with no income tax. While the remaining 43 states have federal and state income tax. Any of you lived in a state that had both?
Missouri.
Missouri. Massachusetts. A lot of them haven't. Why do you think a lot of people from California moved to Texas also? One of the reasons. Because of the tax purposes. What is in front? And you think that they're small? They're really high. People can't afford to live, especially New York, Massachusetts, California. These 7 states will need money for the government services. They raise it through the means, mainly sales tax, property taxes, and other fees. These states, the states that do not withhold state income tax are Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming. Pretty good. Alaska. If saving money is your concern, Alaska is the best place for you. Of course, with its distance from the rest of the country, the harsh winters, America's northernmost state is not for everyone. My motto in my life, guys, I lived in the East Coast. I immigrated to Boston. My motto is, I don't live where palm trees don't grow. So you understand, snow is not in my forte. According to the Tax Foundation, the average state for local tax paid per capita was $3,319. The 18th lowest amount out of this 50 states. Senior citizens get an added incentive to live in Alaska as a state exempt. To live in a state exempt them from the first $150,000 assured value for property taxes. With no state sales tax, the relative low property taxes, Alaska finds itself through royalties of oil and gas production. Besides low taxes, residents of Alaska get a direct benefit from these royalties through the Alaska Permanent Fund, which pays full year's residents of Alaska a yearly dividend based on the earnings of the royalty. The fund has paid out an average of $1,100 per year for the last 5 years. Through the level that has been decreasing as oil and gas prices and Alaskan productions have dropped, there's still a decent chunk of change for simply living in the state. If you subtract the average dividend from the average per capita state and local taxes paid, you get $2,200. That would be the lowest per capita state for the local tax bill by $400. But for me, you still have to live in a cold climate. For me, maybe not for you, but I like warmth. Wow, Why not Florida? That's what we're talking about, where palm trees grow, right? But the only thing for me about Florida, as I've already been told that I am old, right? Or maybe we should say seasoned. I visited Florida many a times. Love the beaches. I'm a water person. What do you like? Florida's warm weather has long been a draw for tourists and around the world and retirees who are fed up with the winter, and add draw to the draw for residents. Florida has not made a state income tax since it repealed in 1855. The state mainly funded itself with a 6% sales tax and property tax in 2011. The average per capita state and the local tax paid in Florida was $3,699, according to the Tax Foundation. The 24th largest, highest out of the 50 states. Nevada. Nevada's gambling and tourism industry has long been the state's main draw. Through its non-gambling tourism has grown through the years. Through shows, conventions, retails, nightclubs, electronic, dance music. The lack of individual and corporate income tax are big drawers for businesses and residents alike. However, Nevada has modified business taxes. The taxes businesses 1.17%. 2% of financial institutions, on the wages paid in the state after deducting health or care expense. Like other tourist-friendly states, Nevada funds itself through sales and the use of taxes, which starts at 6.85% and makes up 72% of the state's revenue. In 2011, the average per capita state and the total tax paid for $3,221, according to the Tax Foundation, and the 15th lowest out of the United States, 50 states. South Dakota, another beautiful state in the Midwest. To drive through, has the smallest output in United States. Its economy in many powerful by farming and tourism. Besides Wall Drug, the best road trip stop in the United States. The state is known for numerous national parks and historic country of deadwood. Surges motorcycle rally. The ones that drive motorcycles would know a lot about. With no income tax or individual or corporations, the state funds itself through a 4% sales tax and various uses taxes. In 2013, the sales and use tax made up 71% of the state's revenue. Perhaps unsurprisingly, given the state holds the largest motorcycle rally in the United States, motor fuel taxes are the second largest contributor to the state's coffer, or at 9%. In 2011, the average per capita state and the local tax paid was $3,000, according to the Tax Foundation, the 7th lowest out of the 50 states. And then we come to Texas. They always say everything is big in Texas. Texas funds itself through 6.25 sales tax, taxes on motor vehicles, sales, and fuel. The taxes and the royalties of oil and natural gas production. Texas has no corporate income tax and generally helps by oil and gas, which are really hurting today. Have you been to the gas pump to see how low gas is? But I've noticed it is going up again. The average per capita state and local tax paid was $3,888. According to the Tax Foundation, the 8th lowest out of the 50 states. Washington. Has anybody been there? I have never been, but I've heard it's absolutely beautiful. You been, anybody been there? Marcus, have you been up there? No? Washington State. Nobody been to Washington State?
Nigel said he lived there for what, 4 years.
Really? Gary, did you put your hand up that you live there?
Yes, I lived there for 6 months, so
What do you think?
it is gorgeous.
It is pretty?
Yes.
Is it cold?
Not really.
No?
No.
But it's not like here.
Yeah, definitely not like here.
Okay. So what did you do there?
I was working.
Okay. Doing what?
I was working for the data common security job, CSC.
Oh, really?
Sales, yeah.
So in the wintertime, it's pretty crisp, right?
Yes.
Okay. You do need a coat?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I like your one-word response, Gary.
Yeah, get straight to the point.
Right to the, you know, the more people I am getting to know and get to me, the more I hear that one-word response to a lot of things. So it's interesting to see the different factors of different people. Got it?
Got it.
We'll learn to start doing one-word phrases, and I'll see how it changes my life. Or maybe not say anything at all, and then Chef Cliff would have to take over. You know, maybe that would be better because maybe I talk too much. What do you all think?
No, you're doing great.
Oh, wait a minute, Matthew. Are you telling me to leave? You will miss me if I left. You of all people. Okay. Washington is a great example of the needs of the check of all the data. The primary funds itself through a 6.5 sales tax that makes up more than 60% of the revenue. Localities add to this. So the sales tax can be as high as 9.5 in some areas. Wow. How can I get out of here? Oh, I just lost it. Okay, I get it. Oh my gosh, I learned something else. Okay, Washington is a great example for the need to check all the data. The straight primary funds itself through a 6.5 sales tax that makes it more than 60% of its revenue. Localities add to this. So the sales tax can be as high as 9.5% in some areas, while the state has no corporate income tax, does have a gross receipt tax, which charges businesses roughly 1% of the revenue. This may not sound like much, but if a business is losing money and it still owes the government the money at the end of the year, which is not in the case with a corporate income tax. Such high sale tax and property taxes add up. The average per capita state and local tax was $4,366 according to the Tax Foundation, the 12th largest in the United States. Wow. So you need to know Wyoming. Wyoming funds itself mainly through the natural resources taxes as well as property taxes. The state has property tax rate of 9.5, through the sales tax is only 4%. 2011, the average per capita tax or local paid are $3,500, the 22nd lowest in the United States. Gross sales versus percentage of payroll. Understanding your company. Your company's financial activity involves breaking down processes in the relationship numbers. The amount that your company spends on payroll each week will come out of your company's bank account. Your payroll expenditures also represent a percentage of total revenue, which your business takes during the payroll period. The percentage of gross sales indicate payroll changes over time, but it should always be low enough to allow you to cover the necessary business expenditures. How do we calculate the payroll percentage? To calculate payroll or a percentage of gross sales, divide your payroll during a specific period of your gross payroll during the same time. Include employees' benefits, employees' contribution to Social Security, and Medicare funds, state unemployment insurance, and individual insurance liabilities. For example, a business spending $30,000 on payroll and related expenses during the quarter, when gross revenue is 100,000, will have a payroll percentage of 30%. Sustainable payroll percentages. So payroll percentages vary by industry. To find the average payroll percentage for your industry, check the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. A business with particularly low costs is another major expense category, such as rent, might be able to make ends meet with a payroll percentage that exceeds the industry's average. However, these averages are good starting places to determine whether your business can earn a profit with your current payroll percentage. A lot to think about. How we break down our restaurant, our food truck, or our adventure of catering. When that comes to mind, guys, I want to make sure I bring something up, and maybe Chef Cliff can touch base on it too, is I hope all of you have applied for the assistance for the student giveaway. Have you all applied for that? It's $1,000, everybody. You
The
all
CARES
deserve it.
Act.
Yeah, make sure, could you tell them a little bit about that, Chef Cliff, please?
Yeah, just,
And you need to do this. I mean it. Do it today, if you haven't.
yeah, on your portal, there should be, or I'm sorry, not on the portal, but on your email, they sent out the CARES Act. Please fill that out. But what was it? Don't do the direct deposit, or no, don't put it on their credit card, but do it direct deposit, I believe is what
I think,
everybody.
Jonas, you were saying that, weren't you?
Yes, Chef. I did that about 3 weeks ago, I guess, whenever it was first sent out.
Yeah,
They're still sending emails, I think, weekly, just saying no updates, no money, stand by. If anything changes, we'll let you know.
okay. All right, well, I would make sure everybody, or if you want any money, fill it out. And I would try to get that done ASAP, as soon as possible.
Because I think there's a cutoff date for that.
There is, but
And you have to you really have to do it. So, Marcus, make sure you do it, please.
Everyone should have received their own like personal code via email. And that's what you'll use.
That's right, I forgot you're
But
cool.
that's nothing to do with the stimulus package. This is, guys, this is for students that make this happen. Okay? So these are for the students. That's not for everybody. It's for the people that go to our school to get and get help. All the students in Texas or in America too, that are who's involved in it. The school is involved in it. So make sure you pay attention and do that. We've been told by Chef Robin to reemphasize that people do it. So we're really telling you from Chef Robin that we need to make you aware that you need to apply for it. So make sure we do that, please. And if you need any assistance, you know, we've got people around us. Remember, it's a we, we're not an I. So we've got 24 people on today. So proud of you. I need to see some faces. I mean, I can put a blank wall. Thank you. I need to see the faces. Trent, are you there? I want to make sure. Gary, good to see you. Again, one word man. That's what I'm going to use you as.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. I want to see you. No hat. Victoria, I want to make sure I see everybody, please. But make sure you all apply for it because it's really important. It's another $1,000, guys. And $1,000 goes a long way to help you with your rent or whatever. I saw on TV yesterday that if you're having trouble paying rent, that there's another thing in the state that's helping people that pay rent. Did you see that? Anybody even looking at? I haven't watched news in a week or two.
It's the city of Austin where like most of us go to pay our utilities and stuff.
Yeah.
Every time I get my email to pay my utilities, they attached a COVID-19 relief package where you apply, and it's a random selection of people who will receive, I think it's like $1,200 to pay your rent.
It's only one time though.
Yeah.
Pay attention, guys.
But the window is from May 4th to May 6th.
Okay. So this is right in the middle, right? Right at the end. Make sure you do that. If you need anything, we got our girl over here. Dahlia would help you with it. Text her.
Yeah.
And she'll get you that information.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what family is all about, is help each other out to make things work, guys. All working together. Not outdoing ourselves at all. but working together to make each other happy. So we're talking about variables. Your payroll cost percentage may depend on variables that cannot always control. For example, if your company is just starting out, sorry, then you might have a hard time achieving economics or scales or enable you to lower payroll percentages. In addition, business may experience slow periods, then they make and maintain a skeleton staff simply to continue operating. Payroll percentages during slow times tend to be unsustainably high, but your business might make up for these high expenditures when sales rebound. How do we approach it? To improve your percentage of gross sales dedicated to payroll, your business can either increase sales and introduce efficiencies or lower payroll by finding ways to do the same amount of work in fewer hours. Both by these approaches involve looking at the big picture and evaluating the way the payroll expenses fit into operations as a whole, lowering payroll in a way that you may lose sales will not improve your payroll percentages, and maintain sales volume will achieve this objective. So understanding how we have the people around us, the efficiency, and sales. Sometimes before in the past, it's been very hard to find people to work. How many of you seen that if you worked in a workplace? Yeah, you can find bodies. It's not a problem about bodies. It's about people that want to work. I'm very straightforward, guys. I'll tell you within 15 minutes. I want to be their mentor. I want to be their person that they can come to and understand. Hopefully, you being raised and you can see work ethics. How many see that any place you work? You've seen it. Be realistic about it. Work ethics. You might have to take that person aside to pull their weight. We're talking about payroll, but we're also talking about people that are sustainable to get that payroll. Good morning, Ivan. I'm glad you're here. So make sure your payroll expenses can be a break your business. You have to keep them under control. Be on top of it. Remember, weekly, daily, be responsible. It's your business. It's your money. Cha-ching. It'll keep them under control. One approach is to calculate them as a percentage of gross sales. But there's no one size fits all rules to what the percentage should be. Consultant recommends shooting for 15 to 30%. Sales. Payroll percentages. Others say as low as 9%. What important is the exact percentage, is how you apply to improve your bottom line. Sometimes cutting staff really hurts you. I mean that. To make it work. Where are you? Where do you stand? Sometimes it is better to pay a little person a little bit more, and that person really works for two people. It's only fair. What do you have to offer? Or the employee that you hire? Your payroll expenses can also break, and like I said, move the business. Improve the bottom line. Different industries exist in very different employment worlds. Fast food restaurants are notorious for rapid wages and constant turnover. My gosh. Way before I even started being a chef, I was manager of Long John Silver's. Holy mackerel. We had 3 women that ran that Long John Silver's, and we won the awards every time. Rapid fast food, working awful hard. Service industries has a higher payroll cost because it doesn't have a staff. They don't generate revenue. The service industry. Here are payroll percentages are some of the industries that we do. We talked about it the first slide. 10 to 20% for gross sales, 30% for hospitality, and 30% for restaurants. Applying the percentages. Any of you worked in a fast food? How many of you worked in a fast food? Nobody? Wow. Did you, Roro? What did you do?
McDonald's, Mickey D's.
Work at McDonald's? Was there a high turnover?
Yeah. It depends
And-
on what shift.
Or depending on the shift?
Yes, ma'am. The day
Yeah.
shift.
Was it really busy?
Yes. It depends. It
The
depends.
time slots?
Huh?
The time slots?
Yes. You get your what is it? Hourly, like the peaks and stuff, peak time.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. I
Different
like it, though.
places.
I like fast pace.
What?
I liked it. It was fun.
It was fast paced?
Yes, ma'am.
They're starting to pay a lot though, aren't they? I noticed.
That's been years ago.
I noticed in my I live in Hutto, and the pay over there, I think, was starting pay was $14 an hour. That's a lot, I think. For you know what I mean? For but you can't live on it. I understand. Don't get me wrong. So, you know, for a McDonald's, I think it's wonderful. But people can go get a job, usually high schoolers.
The maximum was like $9 an hour, and you had to go to Hamburger University in order to like get more money and become management and all that.
Oh, really? And now they're looking for managers. I saw that on the thing. You know what? I love McDonald's ice cream cones, guys. You know, I've already told you this before. I just go through drive-through to get their ice cream cones. And I bring like 4 of them home and put them in my freezer, and then I could have like 1 a day.
Whenever
And
it's
where
not
can-
broken.
Huh?
Whenever it's not broken.
I've never had it broken. Maybe they see
It
you and
never
maybe they.
works.
What did
In
you
North
say?
Carolina, it's always broken.
Really? Yeah, no, they put me in those 4-cup things, and then I bring them and put them in my freezer. And then every day I have a treat just for me. And so, and I put the ice cream cone in a cup, guys. I don't have it like this, guys. So I make them put it in a cup, turn it over in a cup, and then I freeze it and then pull it out. Anybody had one? It's only 80 cents, guys. Some of them are 60 cents a cone. You can't even make the ice cream for 60 cents a cone.
Back when the machine was working, I would get ice cream and a small fry, dip them
Yeah.
together.
Isn't that good?
Oh, yeah.
really healthy, like that vegan diet that you're on. It's got it. I got it.
I
Love
love
it.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. There was, yeah. But they're not serving ice cream anymore. So they stopped it when all this stuff started. You know that.
They stopped it way before, Chef.
Oh, did they?
That machine been broken for a while.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So let's take a little break. Matthew, you and I are going to have a tete-a-tete one day. Do you get it? I got it. Just because you're in North Carolina doesn't mean I can't come by there and smack you.
Come on down.
It's a long drive. All right, 15-minute break, and then we'll come back and talk about payroll percentages and payroll taxes and things like that. Love you all being here, guys. 24. I'm so proud of all of you. Do you hear me? I appreciate it. Nigel, oh my God. Where are you? I can't, let me see your face. I haven't seen you yet. Oh my. I'm glad to see you. Why are you laughing? First time. First time for you, Nigel. Thank you.
They nada.
I mean, that, oh my goodness, one word, man, just like, where's Gary? Gary, have you met Nigel?
Yeah, I know Nigel from around the way.
Okay. One word, man. Thank you, guys.
Time is money, Chef.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, Nigel, I'm so glad you're back. Thank you. And thank you, Gary, for saying that. Made me feel really good. Kendricks, good to see you. Have you met Nigel? He can't answer. You're going to have that monitor fixed, Pumpkin. Where's Andre? Andre here today? Nope. Let's see. Good to see you. We'll take a 10-minute break, Nigel. Come back, okay? You promise? Okay. Thank you. Bye. Marcus.
Yes, sure.
Okay, are you okay? Did you see it about that rental thing?
I'm already doing it.
A question. So, have you had any leads anywhere?
No.
Nope. So are you thinking about staying? I hope so.
I mean, of course. It's not like I want to leave anyway.
No,
but-
oh, I don't misunderstand me. I understand your situation. You don't think my heart doesn't go to all of, there's so many issues going around everywhere.
I know, Chef.
And it's a lot. Maybe this money would help you for the next month.
It's still just a maybe, but it's certainly worth a try.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to know that I'm thinking of you.
I know, Chef. I haven't
You know?
forgotten.
Okay. How's it been, Matthew?
Wonderful.
You enjoying it?
It's been nice. I'm glad to
Is
be
it-
back where I know where I'm at.
And the people understand you? I'm just asking a question.
Oh, yeah, you're not the only person that says I got an accent, so it's okay.
Okay. But it's a home territory, right?
Oh, yeah.
Makes a big difference. What home is to everybody is something different. Is your wife from there too?
She's from Raleigh, yeah.
No, is it that far?
It's like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually grew, like my parents divorced, so when they divorced, my mom brought us to Virginia. So I'm like where my grandpa's cabin is like 20 minutes from where I like went to high school and elementary school and grew up.
Oh
So
my gosh, so it's like old home week.
yeah, my home, like I consider Virginia my home because it's like where I remember most of my young life, but I was born in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. And what did your grandpa do?
Well, they're the ones that own the commercial refrigeration business.
Oh, okay. All right. And then passed down to your father. Okay. So your brothers are doing that?
Yeah, I got one brother and then 2 cousins, and they both work there.
They work there. Okay.
They're just scared to leave, I think. I think they're just comfortable. That's my opinion.
Well, don't forget, like, everybody feels something different about what they want to do. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It's just a personality. Remember we talked about Robert wanting to get direction and work somewhere and not own something. Everybody has a level of comfort that they want to be at. Get what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that you're right wanting to leave and they're wrong staying. It's just a different levels of what interpretation that person wants to do and makes them or the individual happy. I think that has come over getting older to understand the whole prospect of the picture. Do you get what I'm saying? I think you're understanding that more too now, aren't you? You can nod, no answer. Remember, we only allowed one word.
Yep.
And Nigel has disappeared. Well, he better be back. Randall, yay! It's good to see your fan, Andrew. Two more minutes. So Roro, what have you been doing? You look tired.
Nothing. I am. I've been staying up late, but I'm still working. And,
I am.
yeah.
I still haven't received my packages yet.
It's
I'm
not
waiting on
us. It's not the
Two
job.
things.
Huh?
I said I'm waiting on two things.
What's that?
I'm waiting on Well, you know, I love to read,
Mhm.
but I'm not waiting. I'm waiting on a book, but it's a diary form, you know, with a,
You like to write?
no. If you saw me reading some of the words, I do not like to write, but I'm transforming, I've got to show you this and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. My mother's old recipe book.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
It is. And I have promised my kids that I would transfer this book into another book with them.
It's a spiralizer book. It's a spiralizer. What kind of book is it?
It's a book with a leather bound and has a strap.
Mhm.
So I can write on each page. It's like.
Oh, you're gonna rewrite it.
I'm going to rewrite it.
Oh wow, that's a lot of pages.
And then, oh yeah.
Mhm.
And then maybe I will publish it.
Mhm.
So hopefully I can kind of put it, those recipes are like the best of the best. I take from all the years that I've worked and taken the high end ones. Do you get what I'm saying? In my category. And then I'm going to restructure, I'm going to standardize it for people to read and not in between the lines like I understand, because I will be blowing in the wind by then, so they will have to read it properly
Mhm.
to make different things, you know?
Mhm.
So that's going to be my next week or the next 6 weeks project when I'm waiting for the book. It's coming all the way from England from what I understand.
Oh yeah, that's why. It's not.
You know what? That's why. But they said 2 weeks delivery, but it's been 3 weeks, but it's okay. But do you know, it was cheaper for me to buy a book from England than it was to buy that leather bound book in the United States, which was really sad for me to see.
Where'd you go to look for the book here?
I think on Ecstasy, what is her name? That lady that does a lot, ESTY,
Oh, Etsy.
yeah, or whatever. Okay, so I found it on there. It was only $26. I didn't think that was expensive.
Not for a leather book.
Not that leather bound books, because I found them at Farmers Market, but they're at Magnolia's in Waco, and they've been $55, $60 for the same book.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always looking for a deal, but sometimes the deal slaps me because when I get it, it's probably this small.
Yes.
I'm only kidding. I had to take a ruler out to figure it out. Does everybody make the same mistake I do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm being realistic and being human, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not expensive.
I didn't think $26 for a bound book, leather bound book was expensive. I didn't. For labor, remember, you've got to think about who puts all that effort into making a book.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's labor intensive.
Yeah, I've bought plenty of journals, and it's a journal. It's pretty much, you like a nice quality journal.
Yeah. Yep.
Chef, you sent me my did you ever put it in the mail?
Not yet. You know what? I'm gonna be going out, not today, tomorrow, and I'll put it in the mail tomorrow.
It's okay.
No, because I have to go because I have some I'm trying to get my taxes done for this year, and that's been a challenge, guys. And we're talking about percentages and all this stuff for taxes. It's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to get that done. So I'm going to have to go tomorrow to get some of that done. My niece got home safe. She's in the Czech Republic again. So I was very, 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 very happy to hear that. I was worried about her going through Amsterdam, and she had to go through Detroit and then fly to Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam to Prague. So I'm glad she's home safe, and and she's with her family. So I'm really happy. She got to visit, enjoy Texas, a little bit of nobody around, and then go home. She was an au pair in Pennsylvania, taking care of kids for the last year and a half. But the couple that she was an au pair for got a divorce. That's all I'm saying. Not a good one, put it that way. They both had money, and money is the root of all evil when there's breakups. Okay, everybody together? Are we on? Nobody has anything to say, any questions, any answers, anything to get it work. So percentage or guidelines, no laws handed down to stone tablets. How to apply the percentage is more important than the percentage of the use. Let's say your industry average shows payroll versus running between 15 and 20%. The next step is to calculate the percentage of your own company. List all the employees' costs, benefits, salary, and taxes. We talked about it just a few minutes ago. Then add up your gross sales, revenue, and total income of sales, unadjusted for documentation such as return merchandise. If your sales to payroll percentage is healthy for your field, wonderful. If you're pushing in the red zone, don't automatically assume that you have a slash staff or wages. Look closely the reasons the percentage is out of whack. Your long-term growth requires employed high-powered sales people or an IT expert, so you have to pay more for the average. You understand as a result, your employees are racking up overtime and boost your payroll costs. Your employees are insufficient. You add salespeople to boost sales, but the payroll growth is outpacing sales growth. And a lot of us come across that when you're in management to understand. If paying for top people will boost your future sales, or a high payroll sales percentage may be something you can live with for a while. Other reasons may indicate problems that you have to fix to stay profitable. Reducing the percentages. If the percentage convinces you that there's a problem, look at ways to bring it down. Boost productivity will reward for employees' performance. We just talked about that a few minutes ago. Cross-train your employees so you can cover each other when somebody calls out sick. Make sure that the part-time, freelance, or temporary help, you don't have to pay benefits. There are legal distinctions between freelancers and employers. We just talked about that a few minutes. Following are some of the things to consider as a manager when you open a business. A risk kind of management. Two slides down, Chef, please. 1, 2. Risk management is very crucial in making the ways to your success. So an entrepreneur, we are in that group, to make it our own, right? To think how we want to do it. So the entrepreneur needs to determine the risk or concerns to develop in order to manage failure, loss, or injury, and how to prioritize it. Risk management. One good technique of a risk management is insurance. Insurance policy cover losses and injuries that may take in a small business. You'll need professional help in order to ensure you are covered and enrolled in the proper coverage. They say prevention is better than the cure. How many of you have heard that? I have. Risk management is crucial in getting your way to success. You like those hats? Wow. Kind of different. Haven't seen too many of those around. I've seen a couple. Look at them. Owners, managers, entrepreneurs, we need to determine risk to order and manage failure, loss, and injury. What are some of the ways to protect your business? The ways to protect your business. I don't know if I'd have used that gun there, but that's okay. Artesian bread, commercial property insurance, covers losses, fire, major disaster. Commercial property insurance. Security systems for your equipment. Cameras. I think every business today has a camera. Keeping employees honest and protected. Productability insurance. Product business and defective product. General liability insurance covers legal hassles due to accidents. What are some of other measures? Security, a security system installs to set up some safeguards, policies, or to guarantee the honesty and awareness among all personnel. Hiring employees based on a clean record. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to differ a little bit with that because I think we need to really embrace the world and give people a chance. We all do stupid stuff. We all do sometimes wrong stuff. How many agree with me? And so when we use the word clean record, I don't care for that too much because everybody needs to be given a second chance. To make it right. Gary, I need to see you. Marcel, are you there? I need to see you. Making sure your insurance covers major disasters like flood, tornadoes, earthquake. Is your restaurant or wherever you are have those things to know about? And other disasters, you can even get coverage with the help if your cooler or freezer breaks down. Also, health safety insurance in order to protect yourself against employees or customers getting sick. I'm going to tell you, that is a big thing that you have to take care of when you are catering. A big issue. Instead of having a standardized that you pay every month so much a month, guys, if you're busy every day, then I would do it. If you are in the catering business, I would do it for each event. So you only pay for that event if it's a large one. And the cost will go down for you. Think about where you are. Trent, do you have something to say?
No, ma'am. I was just switching over from my computer.
But I do need to see you, Trent.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ugh.
So make sure. So those are the things that we need to pay attention. Legal and ethics, in addition to the marketing, financial, and human resources and other challenges small business owners face. Legal and ethical issues of operating a business loom as another stumbling block. Knowing your legal responsibility as well as following a code of ethics will help you minimize distractions and take you away so what you do best. Image problems. When your employers or agents act unethically, even if you don't break the law, you can damage your business. If the public believes you are discriminating against customers or employees, try to skirt environmental laws and don't honor contests you hold or act as another inappropriate ways. Individual might stop patronizing you, or your group might organize a boycott, or groups might organize a boycott. So when it comes to employees, you have to be very careful. It's not one of your family members that you can yell at. I mean, you can yell at an employee. I've seen it done. I've seen chefs really crucify their employees. I've seen it. Bothers me. But if you use them and use them with respect, not that you're being a dominant person over them, or what they call it, when you're very strong on somebody, what do they call it? My way or the highway. Somebody has a word for that. To understand. There's a difference. Another human being respectful. Maybe they don't get your point of what you've got to get done, but do it in a graceful form. And I'm not saying for a guy to do it in a graceful form. Don't misunderstand me. You can do it in your tone of voice and your tone of expression of how they need that you mean business. When you mean business doesn't mean you are degrading them. When you mean business, as you got to run a business to get it done. Do you all understand what I'm trying to say? If a customer believes, like I said, discrimination, individuals must stop patronizing you as a group. Some unethical behavior is also illegal, such as bait and switch advertising. Big thing is coming into the picture now. Wasn't anything around 20 years ago, guys. Sexual harassment. Nobody worried about that 20 years ago when it was happening every day in a kitchen. I saw it. And I'm not saying everybody, not all the facilities that I worked at, but it did happen. Sex or racial discrimination. Boy, that is my biggest pet peeve. An intimidation to workers who want to organize a union. If you break your word or your handshake agreement with one vendor or a client, word spreads in the marketplace, making it more difficult to operate. Laws and regulations. Small businesses, even those are the one with a few employees, must follow state and federal laws. If you hire contractors, make sure you do not cross the line with their job description, which might classify them as an employee. Know the rules and regulations governing or limitations on hours worked or overtime pay. wrongful termination, workplace harassment, discrimination, right to organize a small, equal, regular as you add employees, fairness is the word. Don't be in cliques. Remember, the word is we now, not I. Secure all necessary permits, licenses, insurance necessary to operate even a home-based business. Whether you run a restaurant, professional service, office, factory, or you need to know the rules regarding a workplace safety. Work with your insurance provider to implement the state and federal regulations of your restaurant. Gotta have insurance, guys. You don't know everybody that walks in the door and what they're thinking. I'm not saying to judge them right now, but your priority is to protect you and your business. Visit the website for the U.S. Office of Safety and Health Administration, additional for information. Contact your local fire department to inspect your workplace, guide them for your legal obligations. Businesses such as restaurants, hotels, daycare centers will need to stay up on the latest health regulations also. Legal liability. If your product, service, or employees or agents harm to a customer as a member of the public, you might be liable for damages. Meet with your insurance company to evaluate the exposure arrangement and approximately insurance coverage. Look into product, premises liability insurance, and director of office ability insurance. Make sure you set up for your company as entirely the products you from a personal lawsuit. Happens every day. Frivolous lawsuits. There's some people that sue for any reason at all. Have you met any of them?
There's one run in the country.
Okay. Creating a detailed company policy and procedures guide and distributing it to each employee. Employees will help you avoid many legal and ethical problems. Remember, some of the people that come to your restaurant are the people that you meet in your restaurant. Lawsuits. Some people are so happy. Anything to make a point. Anything to make a dollar. Happens every day. Data record security protection means protecting a database with destructive forces and unwanted actions for unauthorized users. Credit cards and information can be stolen. It happens every day. How many of you had to redo your credit cards? Not maybe once, not twice, but 3 times. Two years ago, my tax return, I didn't get one. Somebody got it before I even got it. Had to redo it. People are on looking to see where they can get it. So make sure you pay attention to your credit cards and learn the ins and outs. Applying technology to business needs. That's an important factor. What did we learn today, guys? What did we learn in the last 6 weeks? That a monitor, a computer, an iPhone, an iPad becomes our world. If you told me this, take your hat off, Trent, please. If you guys, if you had told us this a year ago, it would have been hard to believe. A cash register is dead. To understand what we're doing. iPad or pros are ringing orders today. Some people have their own iPads on the table, pushing their orders in. How many have seen that in a restaurant? All the time. Hand scheduling is dead. Remember, I'm a hoarder and I love paper. I'm from the old school. Scheduling it online is more effective for younger people to get it. But I promise you, I love it on paper. If you came into my office, you'd understand why I like paper. I have everything in files. Credit card machines are dead.
I don't know if they're dead. They're dying, I believe.
Yeah, but you know, some of these credit card machines, some of the waiters and waitresses have their own.
Yeah,
They click
that
it
is true.
themselves.
That is true.
They click it themselves. They don't even have to go to a register or a mainframe, or not a mainframe, but a place that where it is to do it. These are card readers, exactly what we're talking about. Save time and money. How many of you have noticed, guys? How many times have you noticed that when you go to pick up the food, and I understand it totally, I get it, but how many times have you seen that when you go pick up the food, they have the tip included in that thing that you sign or you called in on, and they say how much percentage do you want to pay for the tip? Have you noticed that? Any of you today? It's a norm. And it's going to be more and more. How many times did you say before, if I'm picking up food, you don't have to pay them because they're handing it to you? But now it's changing a little bit more. I don't really know, Jonas, do they tip, like, do they have a tip jar at a food truck, or is it put in the food automatically? The tip is put in the food price.
Well, it depends on, I mean, it varies. Some food trucks have tip jars. People who just deal in cash. I mean, you can have the, like the iPad thing with whatever that program is, and
Yeah.
they can do the 15, 20, 25%.
Oh, they do that on a food truck too?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be doing that for sure.
Okay, because I didn't know. I really haven't really bought from a food truck too much, so I like to sit and calm down a little bit. But the more and more of my friends that are doing it, I will be getting more involved and visiting them to support them. Remember what we said about support, guys. We've got to serve and support our community to make it work. And the people with the food truck are just as important as restaurants are. They might be not so involved of how you plate it, but you've got to be involved in the taste of food and what your experience is and what you want. Or what do you want your mouth to enjoy? And then going to the brain. How important is that? That's what we're going there for, is a taste, to make a difference. of saying, oh my gosh, this tastes fabulous. So flyers, word of mouth, etc. is dead. I don't think it is dead, really. We're doing a great example of people going to eat someplace. We've already said where to go, right? I saw, James, I saw your restaurant being advertised yesterday on Facebook. Did you see that? For
No,
Mother's Day, for Mother's Day, the specials that they had.
at Parkside, really? Yeah, that's interesting.
Hey, let me, I took a picture of it because I want to make sure that I remember that.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to have grand platters, 12 oysters, king crab legs, shrimp, roulade, lobster salad, ceviche, tuna poke, bottles of rosé for $70.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds like Parkside. Yeah. Wow. Cool.
And it said a quiche that feeds two for 18, spinach, feta, spicy pepper sauce, and the cheese and meat for $28. These are feeding two people. And then, of course, I like the best is strawberry sunshine cocktail for $28 for two.
And you saw that on Facebook?
On Facebook, Parkside.
Very cool. Very cool.
So I thought of you right away. I was going to send it to you, but it says give a mom a treat.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's news to me. That's the news to some of us, for sure.
Ah, so I saw that. It says Mother's Day special.
Very cool. That's not a bad Mother's Day.
No, I think some of the stuff that they picked is basically a lot like that people would like to go and eat.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad seafood platter right there for $70.
No, I thought that king crab and well, I don't know about the 12 oysters though, guys. I there's no way it go down for me. Now, how many of you like oysters?
Oh, I love them.
It doesn't want to go down. It keeps coming back up. So, for me, I would have to pass on that. And maybe, I don't know if they would I don't think they would do a substitute. I think it's a bracket that they don't change because it'd be very hard to keep changing orders. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, and I meant to tell everyone if anybody's looking for good kitchen cookware and stuff, Sur La Table is about to file for bankruptcy.
Are you kidding me?
No, I just read that online. Yeah, they're filing for bankruptcy and they're having big clearance sales on their websites right now. So especially
it's on a website. Okay.
Their website, you can only buy on their website right now. But if you're a La Crusette fan, you can get La Crusette stuff that's $100 to $150 off. So.
Oh my God, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So.
I love their place.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, because a lot of you going into the next block. I don't know what a lot of you are going to, but I'm teaching I'm going to be teaching cooking for my kitchen. And some of our students need some stuff. So that would be a good way to go and get some of the stuff that we need.
I just put the sale, a link to the sale in the.
When does it start, James?
Thank you.
It's happening right now.
Okay. Oh, well, it's going to be a good day for me to go. I don't need anything, but a good day for me to go look.
Yeah, it's hard to turn away from for how cheap some of they're selling their La Crusette for.
Yeah. Inquiring minds always want to know what we can get as a deal.
Yeah.
Especially us women, Roro, isn't that right?
Chef.
Yeah, I don't need pots and pans.
Oh, wow. That is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Chef Pavla.
Yes.
Okay, let's back up here. Did you say you were teaching a class from your kitchen?
From my kitchen.
Is that what we're going to be facing as well?
No. You're done with me after next week, Pumpkin.
No, not just you, but are we going to have to learn anything from our from our kitchen?
Well, I don't know. What block are you going into? You must be paper block.
Paper block.
Did you
This is paper.
If we stay together, Loretta, we got college algebra and
Well, I know that's next, but we don't know what's going to be after that. And I didn't find
Be in school.
I think we're going to be in school after that.
After that, we'll be in school.
Yeah, I don't,
my kitchen.
I have not seen or heard of anything that does not, that something's got to have to really be wrong for us to not go back after this next 6 weeks.
Okay.
We
July
have
will be in
not, we have not heard anything. They haven't talked about anything about any of that. We're projecting, and we're talking about, right after this 6 weeks, we're going to be going. So, or after next 6 weeks, we'll be starting on it, probably on ground. So,
Loretta, I teach pastry, so it's a lot different than we're doing the paper classes. So us pastry instructors are going to have to cook from a kitchen and do demos. A different world, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still Escoffier, and I'm just,
Yeah, I understand. So that's why we've been redoing the curriculum to get that done. So that's what we've been working on for the last week to get it in line. But it'll be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. Got to stay positive and got to stay focused on. And then when we go back, guys, we're going to have, some of the classes that some of the instructors are going to be doing on Saturday, that you can come back to school and look at some of the stuff. If you are into cooking, we're going to be teaching some of the classes to have hands-on. So people, I don't think that Escoffier would ever leave you hanging if you didn't understand something that you could come back and learn. Do you get what I'm saying, Loretta? So we're there for the ride, for you to understand what you've got to get done and learn.
Yes, I understand all of that, but even in 6 weeks, I don't think we'll be back to where we can go into the kitchen. I really don't think we will.
I think so. I really think so.
Well, I'm a pretty positive person, and I just don't see it.
Okay. Well, the school hasn't decided anything, but that is our focus and our goal to go at the beginning of July.
We'll see.
Okay, we got to take one day at a time. That's all we can. And I mean, things might come up that we might not be able to do it, where the school will stand, depending on what the school decides to do, what we got to get done. But we hope that we can go towards that 6 weeks, because we got to keep moving a little bit. And maybe it is sometimes not a good thing, but we need to understand sometimes that life has to go on, and some of the things that some people who have families to support, it makes it awful difficult for them. And I understand that. I really do. And my heart breaks for the younger people today. It really does. Because I'm not a taker, I'm a giver, and I want to make sure that everybody's successful. Everybody get that idea? I hope that you understand that about Escoffier, that we are going to really look at the whole picture and really take into consideration what has to be done. For you as a student, and I've said that to you before, we as a leadership role in a culinary school, we need to be aware of what your situation is and what we need to do to make it work and happen. And I hope you can take that from us. And I think Chef Cliff understands that too. I don't know where he is. Okay, I think what I'm saying is correct.
Yes, you are correct.
So we're not gonna leave you. Andre, where have you been?
Chef, I've been here the whole time.
No, well, wait a minute.
It's showing policies and stuff like that.
Okay.
What's up, Chef?
No, what's up with you? I haven't seen you.
Chef, we all right, Chef. We all right.
So, websites. Capture the audience around the nation. Phone calling is dead. Lord, no. How many people get 100 phone calls a day? Drives me nuts. Roro, does it drive you nuts? To understand. Somebody wanting to buy sell you something. How often does it happen? Maybe because I'm old and they think I need to have Social Security insurance. Do you get it? And I get enough phone calls. Chef Cliff, do you get enough phone calls? Or is it just me?
It's just bill collectors.
I get too many.
Yep. Roro, what?
It's just the bill collector.
Oh,
To collect the bills.
yeah, I understand them too. Text, website, portal, individual of whole team communication. Checkbook is dead. I don't know about that. I just wrote a check out the other day. I haven't written it out in a long time, but I did write a check the other day to mail it in the mail. So I don't know. I have to differ with you. I think it's a good backup system of some of the things for documentation. Some of the banks don't even keep a record of what you do every time. Have you noticed that? They used to do that before, and now they're cutting that off. Direct deposit. How many of you do that? When you worked? A lot system can save you time and money. That's me. I don't want to know when my money is a little bit in black and white in front of me instead of on a computer. But remember, that's my era. We can't let it go, really. Even though you young people are keep handing those computers to us, we want to make sure that we're at a comfort level we understand. How many people like to do bookkeeping? Or is it all on the computer? Talk to me. Anybody?
All on the computer.
Wow. Anybody else?
What do you mean by bookkeeping?
Do you keep a tabs, like keep a record of where you are financially on a piece of paper, or do you go to your computer to look at what's on your bank?
I used to do both. Like put it on hand and then go put it into the computer.
Correct.
Computer's way faster, Chef.
Yeah, I kind of just keep everything online, I guess.
Yeah, but for me, when I look at the numbers, that's the reality for me, to know that I got to frickin' pay that somehow. Do you get what I'm saying? Instead of being on a computer, it's so small and it's not visually big for me to pay attention to. That's what I mean. Maybe I'm old school. Bookkeeping by hand is not that safe. Online software is available for backups for dailies. For me, if it's on the computer, sometimes people can see it and steal from you. So, hand ordering is time consuming. Purchasing scanners are available for vendors, apps are available. Don't be stuck in a rut. Are aware from vendors, apps are available. So much to look at, so much to compromise, and so much to do. Snail mailers. are expensive. Making sure. Email marketing. My gosh. Have you ever got on the computer to look at something and everything pops up and you don't know what to read anymore? How many of you see that every day? And you get frustrated by keep hitting that X to get them away. How many of you do that every day? Bothers me. You want to read an article and you can't even read an article without something popping up for an advertisement. Pennies on the dollar. Money and how to get it. External financing, ventures capital, money provided by investors to start up firms and small businesses. And long-term growth potential. This is very important source of funding from startups that do not have to access to capital market. And typical entails high risk for investors, but has the potential of above average return. Anybody ever heard of this? Angel investing. I've seen it done. An investor who provides financial backing for a small setup entrepreneur. An angel investor are usually found among an entrepreneur's family or friends. The capital they provide can be one-time injection of seed money on an ongoing support to carry the company through difficult times. Usually monies are not paid back. So what are you talking about, angel funding? It could be your grandmother or grandfather. Can't leave the man out. It's a partnership. It could be your parents. It could be a brother and a sister or a cousin down the road that has made it big, that wants to make sure that you have a great dream and he or she would love to help you make it work and happen. That's what angel investing is all about. Investing in family, investing in a best friend, investing in a group of people that make a difference. Crowdfunding, the use of small amounts of capital from a large number of individuals to finance a new business venture. A group of people coming together to make a fund. What a great advertisement. Look at that picture. What does it tell you? The next one, Chef. Right there. Look at that hand. Make sure that easily accessible, vast network of friends, family, colleagues through social media, website, like Kickstart, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Get the word out for a new business and attract investors. Crowdfunding that has a potential to increase entrepreneur by expanding the pool of investors and whom funds can be raised beyond the traditional circle of owners, relatives, and venture capital. Love that picture. A helping hand to make a difference. the butter tin. Open and play the video under the campaign tab. You can do that on your own time. Small business resources. Austin Chamber of Commerce. You can get on them. The state of Texas. Incubation Station. Small Business Administration. Anything to help you start your business. Mentoring and education. Preparation for the next day. What did we get out of it today? What did we learn? And what were your takeaways? A little bit more concept, right? Salah Tab. Anybody been in that store at the Domain? Anybody been there? Packed with items. It's really sad that they are going away. Remember, guys, make sure that you do your quizzes for this week. We've only got 1 week left. Maybe on Friday, we're going to let you work on your project to get ready for Friday, for Monday. Remember, every one of you has to report to us of what your project is, your restaurant is, the menu, the item, the cost, and how you're going to run your business. Profit margin. Everybody, if you don't have a voice, find one. We need to see it. Nigel, it's so good to see you, sir. I don't see Kimberly today. Has anybody seen Kimberly? She okay? Kimberly, if you're hearing me, please answer. Love seeing you.
Chef, it sounds like you're trying to talk to ghosts.
Try to talk, oh, okay. Well, thank you. What do you think I'm trying to do is to make people aware to come back, get it? I mean, I saw her name up there in the beginning of the class. Did you know that? Did you see it?
No.
I did. I did. You didn't see
I
it?
can text her if you'd like me to.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you do that for me?
Okay.
I would love it. You're stepping it up, Delilah. Sorry, Delia.
Thank you. I'll text her.
Thank you. Well, I miss her too. You know what's going to happen when I leave you all next week? You'll just go on to further things up. Oh, yeah. And you'll say, oh, that's Chef Pavlo. Oh, she talked too much. But I hope I made you what?
No.
Thanks, Chef.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I didn't make you think, Roro? Oh, too much maybe, huh?
All the time, every day, every time I see
Every
it.
day. Changes your life, doesn't it?
Yes.
To balance out what you need to get done. Nothing wrong in that. We all make stupid stuff. We always make a mistake sometimes along the road. But that's what we grow from. No matter if you're on the line or not, or if you're in the pantry working in a kitchen station. You've got to love this job, guys. Love it, love it, love it. It's not an easy proposition. But you can make a difference. You, as individual, you. Nobody else, you. You know, so really being a mentor or talking about you as an individual is all in being a chef. Growing. Roro, I will get that in the mail to you today. I had this project to do. I told you about my next 6 weeks. You think I've had to sweat that sucker out like you don't even want to know of what we have to make and teach. But it's good. It's a learning. See, I love learning curve for me. So I never thought I'd want to be a movie star, but I guess camera and action has to be in an event in that week or the next 6 weeks to understand. Still no answer, huh, Delilah? No. I thought I saw her name in the beginning. Goodness, Trent.
You did, because I saw her as well.
Her name? I thought I saw her name.
But I just texted her.
Okay, thank you. Gary, it's good to
on Friday, Chef.
say that again.
Are we gonna log on Friday, or have y'all not decided whether we're gonna work?
Oh,
on
we're going to be on
project?
Friday. We're going to be on Friday, but we're going to be talking a little bit, just a little bit of a PowerPoint, and then we're going to let you work at your project for next week. If that's what you need. If you need that, you've done a lot of it yourself already. How many of you have really started and really gone into it? It's an in-depth situation, guys, of making aware of what you're doing. In depth. I don't want it to be just read off the bat and she'll get an easy grade, because I'm not going to put up with that. I'll let you know when you talk to me, and Chef Cliff will too. Some of them people say when I walk down and go, oh, you don't want Chef Pavlov's class, she's tough. Well, I don't mean to be tough, but I want you to get it and understand what a restaurant project is all about. It's about life. It's about getting a balance of what you do. How important is it to look at your inventory every week? A lot of you will say, no, you don't have to tell me, Chef Pavel, I got it. I know, don't tell me. But it's the seriousness of getting it all together. And getting it right. Because it's your cha-ching. And if you don't take care of that cha-ching, what's going to happen? You're going to pay it back. Trent, pay attention. Pay attention. Yeah, you can thumb up it, but don't look it. So,
Chef,
say that
I'm
again.
about to start in a second.
We're going to sit in the passenger.
So really look at the overall picture of what you want to deliver for Chef Cliff and myself, to make sure that you get a grade. And how much time did you spend on it if not putting it together? It's an important factor. I know we're really going into this online. It's really difficult for some of you to understand when not somebody being there directing you how to do it, trying to figure it out yourself. It's a challenge. If anybody knows that, I do. Chef Cliff is a whiz at computers. I'm learning. I'm trying to make it work. So Andre, what are we taking, a day trip? I think he's in a car. Gotta be.
You said what, Chef?
Where's your white shirt?
You said what?
White shirt.
Chef.
No,
You're awesome.
Chef. I don't want to hear Chef. You hear me? Okay. So this is a really, really serious thing. So I love you all. You know that. You know, if I meet you in the hallway and if you didn't do good in this class, I'm going to smack you. So make sure that you get it. Matthew, you're going to have to return back here before I smack you. But Chef Cliff and I really want you to succeed. in doing what you have to get done and understanding what restaurant ops is all about, the seriousness of it, and getting your project done, and paying and crossing the T's and dotting the I's. 5 minutes, that's all I need from you. 5 minutes to tell me what you think. Why else do we want you to talk? Anybody else know that? Anybody want to know? How comfortable are you in a group of people that you can talk about what you want, what your dream is? It's called show and tell. Showing me what you know and what you've learned in order to express what you want to do. Show and tell. You know, I understand you're at home. I understand you're in a car, as I can see 2 people in a car. This is serious stuff, guys, to pay attention to detail. And that's what I expect. Really. Divine, how about Gary? You're there. I know you are. Marcel, I know you're there. Victoria. Yeah. Let's all take this very seriously, guys. And I expect something serious in return. I need to be tough, but I mean it. I'll let you know, and Chef Cliff will let you know. I hope you had a good day. I want you as an individual to be successful and understanding the project that we're doing. Love seeing you, Nigel. Finally, I got to put a face with your name. That's what happens is I don't see faces with names. And now I do. So when I meet you in the hallway, I'll know exactly who you are. And not, I will come scout you when we get back in school. Because some of you have the passion that is outstanding and the ability to do anything you want to do. Don't forget, Delilah, to send me your text message so I can send it to you.
I will. I'm so sorry, Chef.
That's okay. I'm on top of you to make sure you get it done.
I'm so grateful for that. Thank
Marcus,
you.
make sure you get all the things that you need to get done. Get it done. On the other aspect. Really impressed with you, Robert. Randall, you're blowing it out of the park. Roro, you're fabulous. Loretta, great. Remember the thing that I sent you back to tell you that I just didn't need a protein. I needed the starch and the vegetables to go with it. Remember?
I emailed you back, Chef. It was on page 2 and 3.
Oh, okay. I see. I couldn't open it though. I thought they might be an attachment, but I couldn't get it. I don't understand because I thought that that's what you did was put the protein on one and the other on the others, but I couldn't roll it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll look at it again today. I will look at it today again.
Okay.
All right, to make sure. Anybody have any questions today? Anybody feel a little comfort level?
Yes, Chef, I have a question.
Sure.
So question, right? Are you going to like let us do makeup work? Like there was a week that I missed or whatever on the portal. Can you guys open that back up?
Well, considering it's you.
It should be open. Could you, if it's not open, can you send me a copy or send me a message and I'll try to open it up?
Sure will.
I am here, Chef.
So all the ones that were not here on the first week or missing something, would you please get on. Remember, try to do it all this week because next week you're going to have some challenges to get done. Don't leave it for the next week. Leave and try to get it done this week, all the homeworks.
Chef Cliff. Chef Cliff.
Yes.
Did you get my quiz?
Did I say thank you? Did I reply?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll look.
With you. Through,
All right. Yeah, Google Docs. All right, give me a second. I probably have. I just haven't gotten into that one yet. But I will look right. I'm looking right now.
We're midnight shift, so don't take no 5 points off.
Oh no.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What quiz though? Like I couldn't find the quiz.
It's called.
Because you weren't trying to do it.
It wasn't. It's on what day? I can't even remember what day it is. On Monday. It's called like costing EP AP worksheet. I think it's called the EP and AP worksheet.
Under day 21.
Okay, so it's under day 21. All right, bet. I'm gonna try to look for it.
Sure.
I'm gonna do it.
Back on?
Yeah, it is it's day 21. Thank you. All right, guys. So remember the seriousness. Who was that? The seriousness of what we're going to be doing. James, are you going to go back to work at Parkside when they call you?
Hopefully, that's the plan. Yeah.
Have they said anything to you?
We won't open until at least the middle to latter part of phase 2. So phase 2, if everything stays on schedule, phase 2 for Austin will start on May 18th. And then Parkside said the soonest we'll be opening the doors and pulling the plywood off the windows and everything would be June 1st. And even then we'll still have a limited menu, and obviously the limitations of letting people in the restaurant. So yeah, we're still about a month out if everything sticks to plan, if there's a second wave or who knows, who knows what could happen.
You know what? The undecisiveness of this virus is really in everybody's hands. And
to be honest, with the moving into a house, it's not a bad. We're kind of looking at it as a little blessing. We have a little breathing room. If I was working 10 hours a day, this would be a little bit tougher on our move. So
this is a gift to you.
Yeah, not fully complaining really. So
yeah,
I'm staying busy. Let's put it that way.
Oh, put it that way. I cleaned my office, and now I can do my book. I've done, and I've read 14 books that I know so much about now that I love it. So I've been blessed every day of my life, and the only thing I miss is going to the ocean and walking through the water. So, maybe one of these days we could take some time off and be it for ourselves, for a calm place to make it work. So guys, really, again, thank you a lot for being here. All of you that are here, we had a great class today. We had a whole lot more people attending. I'm very proud of all of you to make things work. Remember, this is seriousness. Yes, I joke a lot. I love people to smile. I love people to get it. I love people to think. And that's what I'm all about. And I've got serious side of me, and I love to have the happy side of me. But we need to get down to business to get sure that we can take care of it and to make it work. So I'm glad I changed the payroll because I didn't want any of you to go through EP versus AP again, because I'm done with it. I know you're done with it to understand the project factor of it. Slap it, get it over with, and call that, as they would say, done, right? To make sure that we get it all done. If people don't understand it, make sure Chef Cliff and myself are aware of it. Make sure also, just because you're reading off this project that we are doing, guys, reading off the project like we're doing it has to be in black and white, that you either send, why don't we send it to me and I'll look at the project and then I'll report to Chef Cliff. And
I
because
just sent mine to Chef Cliff.
I want that project sent to me. Kendricks, is that you?
Of course, it's God.
Hey, look, your voice is working.
That's because I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. So, sorry.
God bless America.
No,
said
God
that?
bless me because I am God.
Oh, excuse me.
You think you're Kanye?
I'm not Kanye, I'm Ken. There's a difference.
Okay.
Elijah was good, bro.
Hey, talk
What's
to
up,
me.
man?
So what do you want?
Who? I don't want nothing. I want $1 million. If you got that, I'd be happy.
Not before I don't. I have to win it first.
Nah, it don't work like that.
It does.
Supply and demand.
Okay. So everybody knows you have to make a report, mail it to me. Email it to me. I need to see the project. And guess what?
About the
And guess what? I grade it. What?
what project, Chef? Which project?
The end of the project, the one that you put your restaurant together and itemize it, have the people working on it, the one that's due next week, remember?
You want it Friday? What day do you want it? You want a rough draft?
No, I want it to be, when you're talking about it, everybody's gonna have 5 minutes to talk about that project, remember?
Yes.
Okay.
She wants
That
to turn
thing has
in
gotta
on
be on,
Monday.
it's gotta be on paper first, right?
Yes.
For you to read it, right? I want you to email that to me.
Today.
No.
Oh.
Next.
What day? I just need to
have
know.
time to do it.
Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Monday.
That's when the project is due, next week.
Yes. I'm just making sure. I thought you were making changes or something, you know?
I'm not making changes at all. All I want to do is, so if you are going to, we're going to tell you how many people are going to be, every day, there's going to be like, say, 5 people or 6 people reporting their project. After we do the PowerPoints, then those 5 people need to send it to me that day. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't all of them send them to me unless you're assigned a day that you do it. So the next day on Tuesday, there'll be another 5 people that do it. And that 5 people send it to me that day. So I can look at it when they report it. Do you all get what I'm saying?
I guess.
We there. We'll talk Friday, right? Before we go into the weekend.
And then
We're presenting on certain
next
days.
Friday is, pardon?
We're presenting on certain days, I'm guessing.
Everybody's going to have a certain day to report.
Okay, well, you're gonna let us know that day.
I will let you know probably on Friday who's going to do what.
Okay.
Is that pretty fair?
We good.
Can I change like my day? Because I don't want a particular day. I prefer Friday, you know.
No, I'll let you know what day you're going to do it. You're not going to change it after I do the day.
Oh, God.
What day can't you do it? I'll do it so you don't do it that day.
Well, I got VA appointments all next week, except Friday. So
It's not this week, it's next week.
that's what I'm saying. Next Friday, I got a
Next
VA
Friday,
appointment.
you can't do it, okay?
Yeah.
I got it.
Well, no. I'm saying I could do it Friday. Just next week, from Monday to Thursday, I got VA appointments.
Okay. So you can do it Friday for you.
Do we
Yeah,
have?
I could do it Friday.
We have class Friday, right?
Yeah.
The last day of the block.
That's it.
Okay.
I thought it was, Chef, Cliff, isn't it Thursday the last day? I'm sorry. Or is it Friday? I think it was Thursday.
I will have to look.
It is Thursday because it is Teachers Appreciation Day on Friday. Thursday's the last day of the block.
I guess I'll do it Thursday then.
Ro, thank you. Thursday is the last day of the block.
And you said Teacher Appreciation Day is on Friday?
But we have to show up, or teachers, or what they call it, in-service day, sorry.
Yeah, we've got to show up to the school.
Yep.
Then don't catch Rona.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that we really, and Thursday that we're going to be getting 5 people a day, trying to get it done, or 6 people a day, the way we have to get it done. To do your project, and then you send it to me that day. Or when you do your report. Everybody understand?
Yeah.
And then we can go from there. And I grade it that day. So I don't have 20 to look at in one day. I have 6 to look at one day and really think about what your restaurant project is all about. Got it?
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all, Chef, but I got to go kill some little kids on some video games, so I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Right. Thank you.
Chef,
Again,
you
I
have
want
a
to thank you,
great,
Chef Cliff.
lovely
What do you
day.
have to say?
Oh, no, I was just waving by.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything to say? Thumbs up if you all are good.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
it done. Get the day started.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
a great
Okay.
day, guys.
I am going to go to the post office for you.
Please, Chef.
And you're going to love it, love it, love it.
I'm a dessert fanatic, like sweets.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't forget that avocado lime pie.
Yes.
You're going to love that one. It's really good.
About me. I'll remind you. We haven't.
You don't have to remind me. You reminded me already. I will take care of it today. I'm a person that takes care of business. You know that already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm on top of it. And Matthew, you don't have to listen to that music and shut the music, the thing off. I got you.
No, I had a
Jose,
phone call.
Thank you for being there, guy. Thank you. Gary, thank you. Marcus, thank you. Randall, didn't say a word. But you're my friend, but guy. I'm gonna come by. Are you selling a lot of food?
Hi, Randy.
Now I'm changing my my menu up right now. What's going on, Ro? What's good? What's good?
Okay. Do you need some kind of meat? You let me know. I'll bring it to you.
I'm trying to share my my Excel spreadsheet with y'all right now with you and Chef Cliff. I got like 6 or 7 menus recipes costed out, but for some reason it's not sharing right. So I don't know.
Well, listen, I had to get on Paylocity yesterday to find out some information. Nothing to do with our survey for school. Did you see that, Cliff? I couldn't get on. They said that I wasn't in the books for the school.
Yeah, I was having a hard time. Yeah.
I've been there 10 years and they don't accept me. So it's maybe telling me something that I need to leave. Only kidding. I'm a jokester, guys. Have you figured that out about me yet? No. But thank you for a great day. Smile.
Bye, guys.
You know what? Matthew, you're in trouble with me. Take care. Have a great, great day. Appreciate it. Or whatever. Bye. See ya. Bye, Trent. Bye, Anthony. Bye, Victoria. All right. I thought that we really needed to change it because, bye, Anthony, because I think it was just too many of EP versus AP, and it was just too much. So
I completely agree with you on that.
you know what I mean? It's just you can